This is what the Lord showed me. He was preparing swarms of locusts after the king's share had been harvested, and just as the late crops were coming. When they had stripped the land clean, I cried out, "Sovereign Lord, forgive. How can Jacob survive? He is so small." So the Lord relented. "This will not happen," the Lord said. This is what the Sovereign Lord showed me. The Sovereign Lord was calling for judgment by fire. It dried up the great deep and devoured the land. Then I cried out, "Sovereign Lord, I beg you, stop. How can Jacob survive? He is so small." So the Lord relented. "This will not happen either," the Sovereign Lord said. This is what the Lord showed me. The Lord was standing by a wall that had been built true to Plumb, with the plumb line in his hand. And the Lord asked me, "Amos, what do you see?" "A plumb line," I replied. Then the Lord said, "Look, I am setting a plumb line among my people Israel. I will spare them no longer. The high places of Isaac will be destroyed, and the sanctuaries of Israel will be ruined. With my sword I will rise against the house of Jeroboam." The chapter opens with visions of God's judgment. Amos responded by interceding, that is, praying on behalf of the people and asking God to have mercy. In turn, God was merciful, and there was divine relenting twice. But the final vision was the most profound. However, the Israelites tried to justify their sins didn't matter to God. Through this vision, God portrayed how crooked his people were against the plumb line. A plumb line is a string with a weight attached to the end. It's a tool used to check that something such as a wall is perfectly vertical. One very important fact that we ought to remember about God is that in him exists no evil. He remains by his commandments unequivocally. The plumb line is portrayed as a tool of righteousness, or being in a right relationship with the Lord and our neighbors. Throughout the book of Amos, it was clear as day that the Israelites were crooked. God was not at all going to stand by their behaviour, especially when their comforts and riches came at the expense of mistreating poor people.